Hey y'all, welcome to the Houston Gardening Novice channel. I'm a newbie gardener here in Houston, Texas, Zone 9B. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoy trying things out and figuring out what works for me. I hope you can join me in my gardening journey as I slowly work on building my backyard sanctuary. So I'm starting my Bluebonnet seeds. I harvested these at the end of summer. So I want to go ahead and prepare them for planting in the fall for next year's blooms. So I'll soak them in water for at least 24 hours. They need to swell up, and then I'll put them in these, start them in these pots right here. So I'll let this sit until tomorrow, and then start the planting. Okay, it's been 24 hours. The seeds are not ready yet. I only see one, actually two that are swollen. So just this one that is starting to sprout. So for this one, I'll go ahead and plant it. And for the rest, I'll let them continue to soak. The pods are very hard. You can also scarify if you'd like, but I'll just use water to try soften the pods. So they need to be soaked for at least 24 hours, so it can go longer than that. So I'll give it another day and see how they look like tomorrow. Okay, it's been another day. Some of the pods are starting to swell up, so I'll go ahead and take those out and plant them. I didn't think it would take this long. It's been, I think, this is the third day. And only a few, maybe 25% of the pods the 25% of the seeds are ready. For the rest, I'll give them another day or two to see if they swell up. And if they don't, I'll probably scarify a little bit to remove some of the coating so that the water can go through the pods. Okay. I think that's all of them that are ready. If you see, oh, there's one more. If you compare the size, let's take this one versus this one. You can see the size. This one is ready. It's swollen up, about double the size, versus this one that's still, the protective shell is still in the pod. Okay. Put those aside. And I'll go ahead and just plant these. I'm just going to sprout them here over a couple of days, and then I'll go transplant once they sprout. So this is the one that I did 2 days ago. It's sprouted by the next morning. So okay. Just spritz with some water. I like these trays. These are from the grocery store. I like starting seeds in these trays. Okay, that's enough. So that's ready. I have 2 more trays, which I'll use for the rest of the seeds once they're ready. Okay. All right, I'll come back with an update soon. Okay. Okay, it's been a few days since I started the first tray. This is how they're sprouting. So they don't have the true leaves yet. It's just the cotyledons for now. Here is the second tray. It's behind. And then the last tray is here. So the ones on this side, I put them, I sowed them this morning, but these ones I did yesterday. So they're starting to sprout. So I'll just spray them with water. And I'll leave them outside. It's still warm for us. It's the fall, but our daytime temperatures are still in the 80s. Nighttime, I think it's in the 60s. So I just spray them, cover the trays, and let them sit on the patio. They get some morning sun, and then the rest of the day they are in the shade. Okay, I'll come back with another update. All right. Okay, it's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since the last update. This is how the seedlings are looking like. So this was the first one. You can see we now have true leaves in, I think, all of them. Yes, in all of them we have true leaves. This is the first one. It was ahead by a couple of days compared to the other ones. This is the second one. Most of them have true leaves. Okay. This was the last one. So I think the germination rate is pretty good. I think almost all the seeds germinated. So I think I'll go ahead and plant these. Go ahead and plant them in the garden. I'm just going to put them in different places, and we'll see how they grow. I'm hoping because they already have their true leaves, they should be able to establish. I also want to plant them now because they now need nutrients, and I have not added any fertilizer or anything to the seedlings. So I'll go ahead and plant them, and we'll see how they do, and I'll come back with another update. Okay. Okay, I'm done planting. So you see one right there. They're really small, so you can barely see them now, but in a few weeks they should have established. There's another one right there, another one there. So basically I've planted them in this bed right here, in the middle section of this bed, and here too. So there's a few, see there. I'm hoping it will be a drift in the spring. So there are a few everywhere. So there. Right there. Hopefully they make it through the winter. So they'll be in this bed as well. There are a couple here. Hold on, right there. And then there are some along this line as well. So see right there. And the last ones are in this section right here. So the goal is to have a drift here as well, in this bed and in that side as well. Okay, I'll be back with another update in a couple of weeks. So it's been about 2.5 months since I planted my bluebonnets, and since then we've had some cold snaps, some very dry weather. It's been a weird winter. So they look different depending on where they were planted. The ones that are in this bed are still very small. Some over here. Here. So this bed is in full shade in the winter time, but daylight savings will be starting next week. So they should get lots of sun in the next, from next week. The ones that were planted on this bed, they got some damage, but then also the snapdragons have pretty much been covering them. The snapdragons grew back after the freeze, and they've sort of they're blocking the bluebonnets. So if you can see some right there. There are a few that I planted here. So they're not getting much sun. On this other side, this one has been getting decent sun, so it's a good size. I think there was one here, but it didn't make it through the winter. So this one here had self-seeded. It's growing in the rocks. It's already blooming. And then I did put some on this side. This has been in the shade, same as this one. These two have been in the sun. I think there are two here. Yeah. This one has been getting the most sun in the winter, and the blooms have started. There are some that I put here. They haven't started blooming yet, but they'll be blooming probably in the next few weeks. It's quite large. There's one there. I think there was one here. It might have died. So this one too. These ones, they get the afternoon sun. this one here too. And this one's maybe because of how I planted the snapdragons with them. I gave these ones a chance to also get the sun. But on the opposite bed, I planted them under the snapdragons. I thought the snapdragons would be asleep by now, but they're in full bloom. There were a few others here, but those ones didn't make it. I think there's one here that's struggling. I think there was another one here. That one did make it. The two that I planted here didn't make it. They were in the shade the whole winter. Anyhow, now that we're gonna get longer days, these should start blooming. They'll be blooming soon, and I'll come back with an update. Okay. So the last update was about 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to show how the largest bluebonnets are looking like. See, this one has really grown. It's covering at least, I want to say 3 feet, maybe 4 feet wide. And this is the other one, and there's also another one here. The smaller ones are coming along right here, and this one has started blooming as well. The ones that are behind are still small, but let's take a look at these larger ones. It's already setting the pods for the seeds. As the flowers fade, the pods will get larger. Let's take a look at this one as well. This one, the pods are really large. The flowers are almost done. This one here, the flowers are completely done. The pods are about to start from this stalk right here. Same as this one. The one that's self-seeded it doesn't get as much sun because it's shaded by this pergola right here. But I saw some pods already. This one is bent because it's looking for the sun. Okay. Some of the other ones that were in the shaded areas are still small. Like I said, this area is where I get the most sun, and that's where the bluebonnets are the happiest. So these other ones that are still behind, they'll catch up. Now that we are getting more sun in the garden, some of these smaller ones will start, like this one. They'll start blooming, same as these other smaller ones that were put in this bed. Okay, I think I'll stop here with the updates. I think this has been a good overview to show how you can grow bluebonnets from the seeds all the way to when they are flowering and developing their pods. So for this year, once they are done, I'll collect the pods again. Some of them I'll collect the pods once they've dried up. They dry up, and then inside there'll be the seeds. Let me open one. Right now they're probably green. Yeah, so they look like peas. like that. So as they dry up, they'll turn brown and they'll become hard. The pods explode and they disperse themselves in random places. So some of them will self-seed and they'll come up in the fall. But for most of them, I'll collect the pods, save the seeds, and then start this process all over again in the fall. Typically, I think for us, we need to start sowing the bluebonnet seeds in October or November. Okay, I'll stop right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Thank you. Bye.